My name is Sergeant Poirier. I have the honor to be the platoon leader for the L.A.P D side of the honor platoon that comes every year for Police Memorial. And I'm honored to actually take over for a person that's very near and dear to us all. R.J. COTTLE was the platoon leader for this before I took over. And now we're here celebrating his life every year as we come up here. And with us today, we have R.J.'s SWAT sergeant from L.A.P.D., Chuck Batita, and his partner, Dan Skinner, and Mike Odo's here somewhere too. So every year we do this, and I appreciate you all being here. It means a lot to us all here at L.A.P.D. We're all part of one big family, and I really do appreciate it. I'm sure everybody else does as well. With that, I'll bring up Chuck Batita.
Thanks for honoring RJ. This has become a tradition. We do this every year. The blessings of the Sheriff's Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, the other departments that are joining us. We'd like to thank you from the men and women from LAPD SWAT that you're so honor us to honor RJ. This is not meant to be sad. It's meant to celebrate his life. And I bet you more than half of you did not know RJ. He was a prankster. He messed around all the time. His number one, he was a junk food junkie. Dan will talk about it. But to start this off, I'd like to bring up Sheriff McDonald, say a few words.
Thank you, Chuck. Well, thank you, and you thanked us. It's our honor to be able to be here and be part of this ceremony. RJ was a jokester. The guy looked like he was chiseled out of stone, but you wouldn't know that from his diet or his actions. But a guy who was Sergeant Major in the Marine Corps and also you know, a cop's cop, and somebody who you look to for leadership, for guidance, and for a straight answer on whatever the issue was. He was the platoon leader for this detail when we would come back here to DC. He made us all proud by his actions each and every time. So without belaboring it, a sincere thank you to all of you for being here, to the LAPD family for allowing us to be part of this. Thank you.
So we are surrounded here in these hills by bravery. Each of these headstones is an American that affords us the ability to be here today, to have our families, and to live a way of life. And as I mentioned earlier in our lunch, we are forever indebted to that sacrifice. And I think it's proud as an American to have the manner of respect for those that have fallen in defense of this great country. I'm also honored to be a member of this organization, to have members such as RJ that were leaders not only in fields afar from our country, but in our streets and our communities. And his work in bringing us together each year to honor those that have fallen in the line of duty made us proud. It reminded us about why we do this work, that it is a life of meaning. And he was especially good at every value, symbol, and ornament, whether it's on your uniform, or it's the manner in which you address another individual, or you back your partner up, and you're always there for him. He knew those ethos of us, and that those are the things that drove and defined the work that our people do and are willing to do for a stranger, for a person that they have absolutely no desire to know and little reason to care, but they will sacrifice their life. You will sacrifice your life for such a cause. So as we respect and pay tribute to RJ, as we do every individual in this park, in this cemetery, remember Josh Collins as well. Remember each individual as a soldier, as an American, and today as a great SWAT officer and a person who made our organization even better, and reminded us of why we do what we do. I have a coin I'm carrying from Chief of Police Charlie Beck. It is in tribute to him. Each of us, I pray, you'll find your way to pay tribute to this man. And I'll close by saying again, we have people who come in this organization, in this profession, whatever uniform you're wearing, because you want to have a reputation and you want to live for something that's important, that means more than you. We hope to leave, after however many of these you put on your arm, as a person with a legacy that you were worthy of being entrusted to this badge and for everything I've just spoke about. But we are surrounded today by examples of that standard and what they were willing to do in order to defend it. Remember that, hold that true, and pass it on to the next generation. That's what will keep this country great, and that's what will keep our people and our community safe. God bless each of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Paul Hayes. I'm a retired sergeant from Santa Ana Police Department. And at the same time that RJ was on active duty, I was actually the Sergeant Major of Reserve Affairs. So we had very close contact. We were good friends outside of that. We were friends for a long time. Our careers seemed to go the same direction, although I was in Santa Ana, he was in LA. But we continually kept in contact. RJ, just a week before he passed away, he got a hold of me because one of the things that he was most bothered him the most was the Marines that he lost. He was not here to be able to pay tribute to him. And two of those Marines, actually one Marine and one sailor, are right down this row. That's Sergeant Smith and HM2 Key. So I'd like to recognize them for their sacrifice. They were killed several months before. But RJ was really upset that he couldn't do that. He couldn't hold that tradition. And I want to introduce one of my Marines, a fellow police officer from Santa Ana. At the time, he was a sergeant with RJ's unit, and he was on patrol with him that night. So when all these incidents occur, Officer Martinez was there firsthand. Just like we would back up our own fellow officers, he was providing backup at that time. And it's to be commended. He did an outstanding job there, and he continues to do an outstanding job. So thank you for that, Sergio. You know, as a Sergeant Major, one of the things that we really concern ourselves with, you know, Lance Corporals and Corporals think we're nitpicking, but we're keepers of tradition. That's what we do. We make sure we get it right, day in and day out. So I want to charge you, all of you, with one thing. After this 1 week, we got 51 more weeks in the year. Be that keeper of tradition. Continue to do the right thing. Continue to honor each other. And it's outstanding. It makes my heart proud to be part of these families. God bless you all. Thank you.
We all have partners on the job, and we become very close to our partners. RJ's partner was Dan Skinner. I'd like to bring Dan up to say a few words about his partner.
Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, we were partners for 8 years. Couldn't have found two guys that were more different. You know, I was a long-time married guy, and he was still a bachelor, and we had a lot of fun. But there's two things he'd want you to take away from today. Obviously, everything that the Sergeant Major said, but also be happy for him tonight. He always called it a black and tan, but I made it. It was a half and half. It was Guinness and Harp, okay? None of this Guinness and Bath stuff, okay? Guinness and Harp, half and half. Have that and some kind of junk food. I don't think I would. But to him, that was great food. Those of you that knew him know that good food to RJ was anything that had a shelf life of over 20 years. You know, and he saved my bacon on many a call-up because he always had a pocket of ghee dunk on his tack vest. You know, we'd be stuck somewhere and couldn't eat anything, you know, and he's pulling out blow pops and Jolly Ranchers and parts of MREs, and you know, but he always took care of us. But remember him, remember the fun, but he would also want you to remember, like the Sergeant Major said, and like the Chief said, everybody else that's here. And there's a real link right in this area. Thank you.
Lieutenant Mike Odell from the Los Angeles Police Department, who also worked SWAT with RJ.
I'm going to make this quick because I am extremely humbled and both honored to be standing next to RJ and addressing all of you. Two things I want to mention. Several years ago we lost a teammate on a rescue mission, and RJ was tasked to take over responsibility to see that mission to an end. And I'll never forget listening to him on the radio that night about how professional and calm and disciplined he was to see that through. I will never forget that. And then the next thing that I always appreciated about RJ was his zeal and his love for life. And his mantra was that every day is a holiday, every paycheck's a fortune, and every meal is a feast. And I choose to live by that, and I would suggest that you do as well. Thank you.
RJ is survived by his wife Emily and his daughter Kylie, who was very young at the time of his passing. And we talk about sacrifice. We know at the wall all the sacrifices that law enforcement officers did. We turn around, we look at all these graves out here and the sacrifices that the families have gone through. Think about their sacrifice. Something touched me, and I don't know why I want to share this. But just before Christmas this year, Emily sent out an email to the friends and said that Kylie's asking for stories about her dad. She wants to know more. So she's asked some of us to put together stories, clean them up, and send them to her so that she can read them about her dad. So I'd like to take a moment of silence for RJ, for the others that have sacrificed.
Honor detail. Ted. Present arms. Order! Arms!
Thanks for honoring our partner and our friend today. God bless all of you, and please be safe. Thank you.